Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as The Seattle Stitcher, or you can email me at theseattlestitcher@gmail.com. As I say, you are all very, very welcome here. If you're having troubles finding me on social media, click the links down below and you can find me directly in those spots. But I just like to hop right in, so let's get to it. I got a little distracted this week and kind of veered off into the knitting world, but I was actually, shocker, monogamous. I only worked on one project, and also shocking, it was actually something that I planned to do for my last video. If you guys have been around for a long time, you'll know I make a lot of plans and then they don't come to fruition. She's a plan maker. That's the fun part. The follow through. It's more so just the cross stitch. I just have a hard time making like dedicated plans with cross stitch because it's supposed to be my hobby and I want to do it for fun, and I don't really find like the counting and the like mega goals exciting for myself. But I know that that's super helpful for a ton of stitchers. It's just not something that I typically do. So for me, I was really shocked that I actually followed through, but I knew this was a project that I wanted to stitch. So this is Lucy Calcut 1826. I'm gonna pop a picture on the screen here. This pattern I absolutely love. I decided to stitch this. Well, I first purchased it because I saw Handmade by Sarah W. I'm gonna link her Flosstube down below. She's fabulous. I love everything she stitches. She had started and finished this one, and it's in the background of a bunch of her videos. You'll see a nice, beautiful navy blue house version of this. Fabulous color change. It looks like it was supposed to be blue in the first place. It looks so good. And I literally send that conversion to everyone. Like I send everyone that finished image because it looks so good. And I think she stitched hers on an 8. I'm not sure. You have to check out her channel to see the details because I think she's talked about it before. But I loved that piece. I remember I asked her like probably a year ago, like, oh my goodness, what's that sampler in the background? And she told me, and then I recently was watching the Content Needleworker Kim, my girl, I love her. I was watching her and she had a kind of end of year whip parade, kind of mid-year whip parade sort of situation going on a couple of floss tubes ago, and I was hooked, right? Because I love everything she stitches, absolutely 100% my style. Every single thing she stitches and the way she frames, I'm obsessed, right? So she pulled out this one as a whip and showed it in her whip parade, of course, and I was like, say no more. Time to get that one started. I went ahead and started this one 1/2. So 1 strand over 2 threads of linen on a 40 count avocado. I picked this up from Lindy Stitches, which is a fabulous online website. I'll go ahead and link her website in the description box. It's wonderful. And this is a Fiber on the Whim fabric. So the fabric itself is gorgeous. It's this beautiful, nicely modeled neutral. It's like a slightly greeny underbase, not super in your face or anything, but you know how some tans, browns can kind of have a greenish hue. I feel like this one does a little bit, kind of like brown sugar, how it's a little bit green. This one much less so, but I still get those vibes, I guess. And I just, yeah, I wanted something that was very neutral but warm, and I feel like this did it. It's showing up really good, like very accurate to color. Maybe I'll have to start filming in here until my craft room is completely done. You guys will have to let me know how you feel about the lighting and everything. It might be a little dark, not really sure. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and I decided to start on the house for Lucy here. Reason being is I was just really excited about the house. Not even honestly me looking at this and being like, oh, I need to get that finished and done. I need to get it out of the way. No, I just was really excited about stitching a bright red house. I really loved in Woodfield House, a previous finish of mine, and that one was a red brick house. I loved stitching the red. I love the way it looks. I love the way it looks hung up. I loved it as a finish in general, and so I was really excited to jump back into a sampler with a bright red house. When I pulled this one out though, I realized that the DMC that's called for, I think it's 361. I might be wrong. I'll have to pop it on the screen though. The descriptor is very dark salmon, I want to say. And I decided that that was just, you know, very dark salmon. I didn't want very dark salmon. I wanted a very bright red. So I went ahead and swapped this out for 321. So 321 is just a bit brighter. It's a very like true cherry red, and I absolutely love it. as you guys can see, I'm almost done with like the whole outline of the house. I have a lot of the fill-in of the door. Actually, this morning I had this whole area filled in, but I accidentally stitched it all in the wrong color. So I unpicked it and I'm slowly reworking that way back in. I've done the fill-in for one of the windows here, started the fill-in for these 2 window panes here, and then I've just kind of been working my way around just to get a taste for different colors and making sure I like them mixed with the house and that the greens don't turn up too green because I obviously brightened up the red. So I really love this. I really want a large bright red house sampler, so this was the perfect fit. It's just stitching up pretty quickly. I mean, honestly, this is probably about 4 or 5 stitching sessions, which I will say those are pretty long sessions compared to what I usually do because I wake up at 3 and then when Daniel's gone by like 3:34 in the morning, I just sit down and stitch until the kids wake up. So that gives me like 2 to 3 hours of just uninterrupted stitching time. But that's the way I do it. That gives me the stitching time in the morning, and then I spend the rest of the day, you know, taking care of them and doing all the other things. But yeah, I really like this. Love the way it's working up on the fabric. I think it looks fabulous. The other change I've done is the original is missing half of the stitches in the door, and I don't feel that that was intentional. I definitely feel like maybe some stitches were lost over time because obviously the sampler is quite old. Another thing I thought was fun about this one, which might make me pull it into my New Year's 12 by 12, is that the date for this one is 1826, and next year is obviously going to be 2026. So that'd be kind of cool to move this over into a New Year's 12 by 12. Or if anyone wants to start this, I've reeled in a couple of friends to start it with me. So now I've got Brittany, one of my best friends. I will link her Instagram down below. She doesn't have a Flosstube, but she does do like a stitchy Instagram. So I'll link her Instagram down below. And then Beck Stitches Everything is stitching this as well. She's one of my best friends. Absolutely love her. Fabulous, amazing woman. I'm gonna link her Flosstube down below, so go check her out. And then Kim, the Content and Needleworker Kim, is obviously working on this one as well. But yeah, I really, really love this one, but it'd be a fun one to do for a New Year's start considering we're going into 2026. So yeah, I love that. And the other fun thing about this one that I am going to be changing is, I know controversial because a lot of people love when a reproduction is done exactly as the original. I tend to always change mine though, and if you've been around for a while, you know that I changed things out for my name, for my daughter's name, for the year that I stitched it in. And this one is no different. So my plans. I messaged my grandma, who's like the ancestry keeper. I don't know. She has like all of my maternal side's ancestry information. And I messaged her and she actually messaged me because she saw my story on Facebook and was like, oh, this is so pretty. And I was like, actually, Grandma, I really wanted to put in someone in our family who was born in 1826. Can you let me know if there's anyone you know of? And she was like, okay, give me a couple hours. And girl was clickety clackety on that keyboard because literally like an hour, a couple hours later, she came back to me and was like, hey, I wasn't able to find 1826, but I found 1825. So Christy, I think was her name, or Krista. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head. I will have to look at my messages with my grandma, which of course I will use as reference when I'm stitching it on the piece. But this is one of my maternal sides. This is my Norwegian heritage. She was a Michael's daughter because the middle name was usually like the dad's name with daughter added on. So I think Christy or Krista, Michael's daughter, and then our Norwegian last name on the maternal side of my family. So I'm going to put in her first and last name on this piece, and then I'm going to put in 1825, the year she was born. She is actually the first ancestor that traveled over from Norway to the Americas. But it's funny, I think they got here, and I believe that the island that was taking in immigrants at the time was too full. It was overcrowded. So they went to Canada first. And we're so lucky with my maternal side to actually have diary entries from her, or maybe it was her daughter, one of them though. And we have diary entries of a lot of their life at that time, going from Canada to then moving over into the States. And they actually moved to Ohio eventually. That's where they ended up settling. So yeah, very interesting history, but I am super excited to include her in my piece. And it kind of is just making me want to stitch like that Mother's Tree piece, which if you're not familiar, that's a lavender and lace pattern, and I have had it in stash for so long. I actually have a blue silk hank that I bought specifically to stitch this, and I still really want to stitch this piece. So I think I might try to find a soft DMC, or maybe even do the call for DMC and then do the blue for the letters like I originally thought to do. But I'll pop a picture, of course, of the pattern on the screen. But I really want to get this one started because it's definitely reeled me in again on the heritage, and I love it. I love it so much. So I'm excited to add her name into my piece and kind of have a little piece of my own history mixed in. So that'll be fun too, because this will be the second piece, because the Remember Me by Teresa Kogut that I showed in my last Flosstube, that one I'm making for my grandmother. And this piece would be my, or sorry, not my grandma, my great-grandmother. So this would be my great-grandmother's, I think her great-grandmother? I think. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I think this is just gonna be such a fun one. Absolutely loving the process right now. I don't want to put it away, but I will say I think it's time. It's time that either I'll continue working on this mixed with something else so that my next Flosstube isn't so boring. Sorry guys. Or maybe I'll, put it away completely, but I really want to get that house done, or at least the roof line somewhat filled in or outlined in some kind of way, because that's a lot of fill in the area that I'm in right now. But honestly, with the time of my life that I'm in right now, that works just fine. But that literally is the only cross stitch project I worked on, just because Amira, she had a school event for the holiday, which was Halloween, and then it was Halloween weekend, and that was really fun. We had a good time with the kids, and then things just got busy. But I do actually have some cross stitch plans, which I am going to talk about, which might be starts instead of being whips for my next video. It might be starts. So I'm gonna get my patterns and I'll show you what I'm making. If you guys are not new here, you're probably familiar with this book then, because I have stitched several things out of it. This is Sewing Club by Blackbird Designs. I absolutely love this book, and I love so many of the things that are in here. I love little trinkets and bags and all these little goodies, and even the drums are just absolutely gorgeous. One thing though that I dislike about drums is that you can't see all your beautiful stitching. Half of it is obviously going to be pointed towards the back of the shelf or however you're displaying it. So I decided that I love a lot of these drums and I want to stitch a lot of them flat. I've always been a big person who's hung up their stitches, but I found this tray that I got I don't know how many years ago now, and it's like a whitewashed gold, so it's not like in your face bright gold. And I thought, what, this is actually the perfect tray for some pillows. I've never been a big pillow finish person. I don't think I'm very good at sewing. I try. I don't think that I'm terrible at it, but it's just not my favorite hobby. I'm not really big on sewing like at a machine, but I really want to stitch these as pieces to go on that tray. So you'll see this big piece here with this nice beautiful tan brick house and the blue shutters and whatnot. I love that one. I think it's gonna look great in my craft room. So I want to make this into a large pillow to kind of have at the back of the tray, and then do some of these smalls. There's this little bird one, and there's also one that's like a pears, and then maybe this long one here, maybe some of the pieces from this one. I do have some other Blackbird Designs books as well that just have some beautiful smalls in them. I have the Autumn's Leaves book, or Autumn Leaves, but something like this, this little drum. I might even do a drum if I can figure out how to sew one up, but let's be real, I'm not very good at sewing. I actually love this finish here on the pink fabric. I love this one. It's such a pretty one. The book though does show you a lot of areas where, you've got the whole layout of the piece. There's also this is the little pear I was talking about with the little bird. I just think there's a bunch of little finishes you could do out of this. And my friend Rebecca from Beck Stitches Everything, I know I already mentioned her in this Flosstube, but she actually, when I moved into this house, dropped off, she grows just the most beautiful flowers from her garden. She dropped me off a bouquet when I moved in, and she also made me a little pillow, and I think I showed it on my Flosstube, I'm not sure. I think I did. I hope I did. It's really pretty though. So Rebecca made me this little pillow, and I would love to have it kind of mixed in with some of these pieces. So this one is another one that I really want to finish as a pillow. And I know that these are ones that are going to be a little bit larger, but I actually want that because I want them to kind of be more noticeable and stand up and fill the shelf space, because the tray, I want it to go across a shelf. So I think my plan is to potentially start some of these. I just think it's the perfect tie of those blues, reds, pinks, the kind of colors that I'm I'm going for in my room. And I think that these, although they're a little spring summery, I think they really can stay out all year round. I would also eventually like to stitch up other pillows though that are a little bit more seasonal, like the Autumn Sleeves books, you know, so then I can swap out the tray for other pieces. So that's definitely something that I want to get started. I don't have very many. I think I have maybe one small going right now. I have Autumn Cottage, which is also, is it a Blackbird or a Plum Street? Maybe it's a Plum Street chart, but anyway, I only have one real small project going right now. Everything else is kind of like mid-size or larger, but yeah, these are some good smalls, good little pillow finishes, and I would like to get a bunch more started from this book. And once I'm finished with this book, I'll kind of move on to some of my other Blackbird books. This one's in good condition so far, but the only thing is that my cover is not staying on anymore. There is like the same exact cover page on the inside, but I don't know how to get the staple to like stay. But anyway, that's okay. I do wish that these books like this were a spiral bound. That would be so helpful as a stitcher, but it's okay. So yeah, that's my plan, is I want to get some of these started and put them in a tray eventually. So I think that's gonna look fabulous. So that is all of my cross stitch. If that is all you stuck around for, thank you so much. I always appreciate you guys sticking around. And if you want to hear about life stuff and all the other little goodies, because I do have some happy mail, some knitting, and then just some other little mentions, then stick around and find out. But if not, then I totally understand as well. But I hope you guys have a fabulous next couple of weeks, and I'm sure I will catch you sometime soon. But if you are interested, then hey girl, how you doing? So I actually wanted to bring up Teddy Blake reached out to me, and you guys know they reached out to me in the past, and they sent me this beautiful handbag, which I absolutely love. I actually get so many compliments on this bag. It just looks so timeless. But I wanted to mention, because they gave me another coupon code, so I have a coupon code that I'll put in the description box below, but I wanted to mention how the bag is holding up, just because this is, you know, a good little investment. But I carry this with me everywhere. Reason being, I'll show you right now. Here's the size of project bag that I always use every single time that I'm stitching, which is every single day. Here's the Teddy Blake bag. It is exactly the size of one of my project bags, which, mind you, this is like a large project bag, but that's exactly the same size. So this is the perfect size bag for me. I'll try to find the exact link to this bag and put it in the description box below. But as you guys can see, the hardware, it's doing amazing. Are you kidding? It's still so shiny. It's fabulous. The actual strap itself has no peeling of the like little strap here, because I do have several other designer bags, and I noticed that that's one thing that wears down first for me, is the side of the leather here. This one is not giving me any trouble. Same with the handles. No peeling, no issues. And this has been with me sunshine and rain, baby, because obviously I've got the kids, I've got Amira and Cheer, I've got, you know, running around from the school to the grocery store to home to this to that. You know how it goes with the kids. But look at how great this leather looks. I mean, and I'm not gentle with my bags. Like, even the bottom looks fabulous. There's a piece of tape on there. See? Tried and true. I didn't cover up a thing. Who knows where this tape is from? That's kind of gross. I'll stick it to my pants. But like, the bag looks fabulous, and I'm just so impressed by the quality. I definitely, when I am in need of a new handbag, will be looking at this brand, because I am so impressed. And yeah, it's one of the very few handbags that, like, even when I go through the coffee stand and I have this in the seat next to me, I've gotten compliments from the baristas like, oh, that's a really nice bag. And I'm like, thank you, girl. So yeah, I really love this, and they were generous enough to reach out to me to send me a discount code to give to you guys for the holiday season, because obviously I know I'm doing Christmas shopping. I don't know about you guys, if you've gotten started, or maybe you're already finished, let me know. But it's just, I'm very impressed, and shout out to them for thinking about me and reaching out to me again, and giving you guys a good little discount for the holiday season. So I'll put those links in the description box below. Hope you guys enjoy. You have to let me know if you've taken a peek around, or if you are planning to snag something up. But yeah, I love the bag. It's held up really well, and it's very easy to clean and wipe off. That's one good thing too, because Malachi's at this stage where, like, if you give him a packet of like yogurt or like a little fruit puree of some sort, he is throwing it. He is. He's gonna throw it at you. Okay. And I don't see that as a reflection of me as a parent. I see that as a reflection of him because he's rude. I'm just kidding. But trust me when I say I have wiped off many yogurt pouches from this bag, and she's holding up just fine. So yeah, I wanted to mention that. Thank you so much to Teddy Blake. I really do appreciate it. I'll link all that down below, like I said, with my coupon code for you guys to use. Besides that though, I did get some other goodies and I did some knitting. I'll talk about the knitting first and then save Happy Meal for last and then just talk about life stuff. So what have I been doing over these past like 10, 12 days, you say? Because girl, you didn't do any stitching. What were you doing? I was knitting. And if you haven't seen my husband, I'll pop a picture here. What do you notice about him? Huge head. Huge noggin. So it takes a lot to knit that man a hat. And unfortunately, I have been knitting him hats for at least the past 8 out of 10 years we've been together. That's right, 10 years. 10 years of looking at that big noggin. I'm just kidding. So every single winter, I've always knit him hats pretty much, yeah, since us dating. After a couple of years, I kind of started knitting hats. I started with the thicker weight yarn, kind of narrowed down and down and down over time, and I've just perfected my own little pattern. I do have this pattern on Ravelry, so my Ravelry is always linked down below. It's not in my like actual patterns though. If you go to my project page, listen, I know this is confusing. Go to my project pages. If you look through my projects, you will find a whole little project that is just, I think it's like Daniel's hat or husband's hat or simple beanie, something like that. You'll obviously see the picture though, so it's pretty simple, just a very simple plain beanie. And in the description of that, so if you click on it, in the description, there is all of the notes of what I do to knit this exact hat. And I knit him 2 this weekend. So that's pretty much what I spend since like one weekend was Halloween weekend, and then the next weekend, which was just what passed, was knitting frenzy. So the first one I knit in Cascade 220 in the basic red color. Or sorry, this was Cascade Heritage. Cascade Heritage has a ton of different colors. It's very soft. It's a superwash, so you can wash it. I really appreciate that because sometimes Daniel's hats, he does put them in the washing like bin and I don't notice it, and so they get tossed in with all the other stuff. And so they've held up really well. They shrink like height-wise a little bit, I notice, when they go through the actual washing machine, but typically I just hand wash them and then lay them flat to dry. But in case it does get mixed up in, they don't end up being too terribly off from what you've originally knit. So I don't have a picture of it because he's already taken it and worn it. Actually, no, he's wearing his new one. Let me grab it. It's got to be somewhere around. Okay, so it doesn't look perfect anymore because he's already worn it for a few days. But this is the Cascade Heritage hat, and it's just a nice bright red. And this is about a week's worth of wear for my husband. This is him wearing it every single day, wearing it to work, to the gym, home. He wears these every single day. He had this one that he's been wearing for a while now, and it was just so fuzzy and honestly disgusting that I was like, I think it was like 5 or 6 in the morning. The kids were still asleep. I was like, okay, it's time. It's time. He needs a new one. And so I do like a 4-point decrease. So these are double decreases, and I bring it down to as few stitches as possible, and then just bind off and kind of twist the yarn around the remaining stitches and weave in the end really, really well. But I soak it, lay it flat to dry, and the second it's dry, takes it, and I never see them again. So he is a very, very knit-worthy person. He absolutely loves getting hats. He loves these hand knit hats. He every single year wants more, and he has a huge collection, but honestly, he wears them so much that they break down pretty quickly just with wash and wear. So yeah, I end up knitting him new ones every year. But this one was Cascade Heritage in red. The other one that I knit, which I'll pop a picture on the screen, this is a sport weight yarn. So after I knit this one, he was like, can you make it thicker, or is that just like the material you're using? And I was like, yeah, I can make them thicker. I happen to have a sport weight in stash, which is slightly thicker. This is obviously very thin, and I do a double brim, so it is a little bit thicker at the bottom, but this area here is pretty thin, and it has been getting like in the 40s in the morning. I think maybe even the 30s, but since this is whip stitched together, it's very seamless on the inside. But if he wanted to pull this brim up and wear it folded up, it would still look like it was all, you know, knit instead of it being the purl. So that's why I do that. I like the look of that. But yeah, I knit him this one. So this one is a cast on a size 2, I want to say. Let me get the needles. Cast on with my Calut minis. I absolutely love this set. I use it religiously to knit hats, sleeves, cuffs of things, starts of sweaters. So I knit his on a 3mm, which is this size, very, very tiny. And then when I am knitting the sport weight, I only use one size up, which is a 3.25mm, which is a US 3. So I go from a US 2.5 with a fingering weight to a US 3 with a sport weight, which is not a huge jump, but I like a very tight knit and I like the stitches to look very neat. I want it to look essentially store-bought. Like I don't want it to, I don't know, I don't want to give it that connotation of like, oh, I don't want it to look homemade, as if homemade is a bad thing, because obviously I am a huge advocate for making things that I hang and put on, like wear myself, hang in my home. It's more so just I like the look of this. I like the look of these tiny little stitches. I think it looks really neat and nice. And I find that like whenever my husband tells people that I knit all the hats that he wears, they're always just super impressed, and that makes me feel very good about myself. So don't dog on me, okay? But I knit those 2 size needles are what I do. This hat I cast on 128 stitches, and when I knit the sport weight, I cast on 120. And yeah, I absolutely love it. The other one is another shade of red. His favorite color is red, so it's very easy for me to pull from the stash because I always have reds in stash for him. But yeah, this is the first year that I waited so long to knit him some. I kind of felt bad. He has a couple left over from last year though. They're a bit shorter. I've tended to make them longer over the years because that's just what he prefers. But I have a couple from last year that are a bit shorter, but they're still in really good shape. So I think I need to just pull those out of the drawer and give them to him because he'll wear them, even though he prefers a little bit of a more saggy beanie at the top. So yeah, love this. I have a picture of him wearing this one, and I don't think I have a picture of him wearing the other one, but I do have just a picture of it laying flat after I blocked it. So those are my hats with my matching Calut bag apparently. And I knit 2 of these last weekend. I finished the other one on like early Monday morning. I just had to bind off the top and weave in the ends and blocked it. And now he's wearing that one today, and he's been wearing it all week. So that was my knitting over the past week. And the last thing is actually cross stitch related. I have some lovely happy mail, which I am just so excited about. Thank you so much, Tammy. Tammy is Leopard and Lace here on YouTube. I'm gonna link her down below so you guys can go and check her out. But I just absolutely love Tammy. I think she's just a hoot to watch. I love her personality. I love how just like vulnerable and open she is as a person. And I've really enjoyed getting to know her over the past year, not just through Flosstube, but also just personal conversations that her and I have had. She really is just a wonderful human. She just makes me happy watching her. I don't know what it is. Like, it's something about her vibes. I just like, she's just so joyful. I love it. I literally just love it. I messaged her once, like completely out of the blue too. Like, girl, I don't know what it is, but I just love watching your vlogs. And she was like saying how she didn't even really have anything to show. And I was like, I don't care. I'll watch it. Literally don't care. Well, Tammy is an absolutely angel baby, and she reached out to me a while ago and was like, hey, I know you love Halloween. I wanted to send you some goodies. And sure enough, she has outdone herself because she sent me just the most amazing little care package. I also want to mention too, before I show you guys everything she sent, that recently, very, very unfortunately, her church actually burnt down, just completely burnt down to the ground. Very, very sad. And I kept on meaning to mention this, but her church does have a GoFundMe. I'm going to link it in the description box below. I know it's a really hard time for everyone. The community there is so deserving though. So I figured at least if anyone is able to help out, and then I will share that here on my Flosstube. But that has nothing to do with the package she sent me. I just, you know, I keep up with her life because she is one of my friends. So she sent me this amazing little pin. Look at that. It's so cool. Oh my goodness. I think the legs are a little janky. Sorry about that, Tana. My daughter really loves Halloween, and she saw this laying here this morning before I was like sitting down to film, and she was messing with the legs. But I actually, I know I'll put this into a pillow, but I think it'll look really cool in this vase of flowers in the meantime. So I plan to stick it in there for now. But I love this. How cute is that? And like with a little pearl one. Oh, it's so good, guys. This is amazing. It's got like a little cover. She sent that on over too. That's so, so sweet. And the bow, I love it. I literally could wear this right now. Like, this could be a brooch. Can you, is this not me in a pin? I love it. And then she sent over this super cute little clipped skeleton, which again, you could definitely add this as a finishing piece. I think honestly, I might save this to use for my knitting, just because every single year, once it hits autumn, I am a knitting machine, because of course, Daniel is in dire need for hats. And this is just like so cute. It's the perfect thing to use as a little finish for a pillow, clip it onto the corner, clip it onto a bow, use it for knitting. I love this. And look, it's on a cute little, isn't that so cute? It's on a heart. Ah, love it. And then she sent over these. Oh, they're so cool. I literally cannot wait to put these in a pillow. Are you kidding me? Look at that pumpkin. Look at its face. It's so cute. It's so creepy. I absolutely love it. The skull is amazing. I actually have this 17th century death notice, which I was going to stitch to put on the top of my stitchy box. But now that I have a craft room, I don't really use the stitchy box. And I was thinking I'm going to make that into a pillow and put it on my shelves. And these would look so cool in it. So very excited about that. And then she sent over a couple of counting pins, which actually I was in like dire need for some of these, not going to lie, which is so crazy. Like the vibes were vibing. She knew guys, because I have been trying to count on that Lucy Calcut piece and I keep on throwing myself off. And so these will definitely come in handy. So I will be packing these in there. She also sent this beautiful trim. Are you kidding me? And this looks just like the shade of red that I love so very much, that true Christmassy cherry red. It's just little Santa on there too is so cute. I absolutely love that. I think when I use the trim, I'll be stealing him off so that I can keep him because he's so cute. And then she also sent me a couple of these little scissor, kind of like, I don't know what you call these, a scissor fob, a little scissor charm. This one says spooky and it has a little like witch's hat and has like the most perfect striped ribbon. Absolutely love that. And then this one says friend. And I love these beads. They look like teeth. So of course I love them. So I freaking love these. Are you kidding me? Oh, they're so cool. So I'm obsessed. Even like, I know these are supposed to be for scissors, but again, the corner of a little pillow, can you imagine? Shut up, that's perfect. So yeah, I'm just obsessed. Thank you so much. I am very, very appreciative of this. I've just been honestly just overwhelmed with like house stuff and just like dealing with so much and having like a lot on my plate with the kids and life and everything, and like trying to take care of stuff around the house. And so this was just a really nice little package to receive, and I truly do appreciate it. So if you guys want to show Tammy some love, go and check her out. Again, Leopard and Lace. I will link her Flosstube down below, but absolutely so exciting. Loved everything she sent. Totally my style. So yeah, that was my little goodies that I got in the mail. Besides that, I'll move on into life stuff. Part of it is cross stitch related, I guess, which is that I'm planning to do with some of my friends. I don't know if they want to be mentioned, so I'm not going to mention them by name. I'll have to ask. But some of my friends and I are going to do a no-buy, and technically it's already started, November to November. So an entire year. You heard it. Do we think that I'm going to stick with it? I don't know. But so far, so good. She says 11 days in. No, it's like 12 days in now, girl. We're doing great. Look, after moving, I think I just was so well organized at my apartment that I was able to jam pack so much stuff into such a small corner of my living room that I was like, I don't have that much. It's really not that bad. Like, I don't have a shopping problem. I don't have an issue. But after moving here and having a whole room to put my craft supplies in, I realized that I am the overconsumption content. It's me. I am the problem. And it's not that it's giving me the ick for myself, because I'm glad to have all these things, and I feel especially grateful and blessed to be able to afford these things and be able to afford a hobby that I love so much and it brings me so much joy, and that is something I can do for myself. I know that was a lot of ands, but you're sticking with me, right? So I'm super grateful. I just realized that I have so much, and I'm 30 years old, and realistically right now, I probably have enough stuff that I wouldn't need a single other project, pattern, anything except for probably fabric for the next at least 10 years, at least 10 years. So it's time to stop, right? You know, we just moved into this house. There's a lot of stuff I want to do to the house. It's going to involve a lot of expense that I would like to, instead of continue spending on cross stitch, spend on the house. So first of all, just saving the money to put towards decorating, designing, all these things for the home, right? But outside of that, just I really, really, really love the things that I have in my stash right now. And I know I do because I have gone through and destashed so much. Because despite what you guys saw in my destash videos, I actually got rid of boxes and boxes and bags of stuff. Not just yarn, but cross stitch and fabric and Aida and so many patterns and just so much. And it was a good thing because obviously I didn't need it. And I can't even tell you one thing right now that I'm like, oh, I wish I would have kept that, you know, not a single thing. But I definitely realized, yeah, I have too much. Okay. Needless to say. So not out of a feeling of being overwhelmed from the amount of stuff, because I don't feel overwhelmed. I just want to actively work through what I have. I think my problem was when I first started cross stitching, I would go and buy a big amount, like more than one project fully kitted at a time. And that made it to where instead of getting one and starting one, I would get like 5 or 4 or X amount of projects plus linen plus whatever I needed for it, you know? And then I would just be putting all that into stash and starting one thing, maybe. You know, that's a big maybe. I mean, I started plenty, don't get me wrong, but you got to start stuff to finish stuff. So it just got to the point though now where I think what's happening is that I see something I like. It's that instant, oh, let me buy that. I can get it as a PDF and download instantly, start it instantly. And then I'm starting that instead of going and looking through my stash and starting stuff from stash. So that's my biggest problem. And I gotta nip it in the bud, man. Like, I'm never going to get through what I have in my stash if I continue doing that. So I really want to go through the things I have. I really want to get things started. I want to get bigger pieces started. Although I have like probably a good handful of large projects going, I want to get them started. Like I said, I'm 30. Ideally 10 years from now, I would have a few of these huge projects finished, and yeah, I can't finish them unless you start them. And if I keep on buying stuff and starting the new stuff, I'm never going to finish what I have. I'm never work on what I have. And even like, I have a small closet in my craft room. It's kind of a weird shaped room. It's larger than your standard box room because I think they were compensating for the fact that there's a lack of closet space. There's wall space that could be intended to be closet, but there must be some kind of ducting for either like the heat or the AC, I don't know, that goes through that wall. So you really get half a closet, which is perfect for a craft room, but you know, also for me, because I'm obviously going in and adding all these bookshelves. But I've got this small closet and I hung up like on little toddler hangers, like little hangers, the little ones, all my fabric, and I realized how much I have because it's not sitting in a basket where it's like hidden and out of sight. And I was like, wow, I really don't need to buy any more of that. I have like a double corkboard floor to ceiling now, and it's covered in just overdyed flosses. I don't need to buy any more of those. I have the whole bottom of the closet is like bins of DMC. I don't need any more. And if I feel like I need to go and buy the exact color, then maybe I'll allow that, like a DMC here and there. And I'll allow like finishing supplies, you know, like trims and backing fabrics and things like that. But outside of that, I'm really, really, really honestly going to try to just be better. You know, the economy we're in and everything, I'm going to try to be better. So here's to hoping that it goes well. Let me know if that's something you guys are thinking about doing in the new year. If you're really trying to focus in, it's not even like I'm trying to get finishes, not even that. I really just want to start and get going on the stuff I had in stash. That's more so the goal, I suppose. And not like frivolous spending on cross stitch when I have an entire room filled with supplies. That's so crazy. Like, why would I continue doing that? It's not the shopping that brings me joy, it's the cross stitching. So I've got to work on what I've got. So here's to that. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping I can, you know, by talking about it, you guys can hold me accountable. But don't be mean to me. Don't be mean to me, because I'll be mean back. Probably meaner, actually. Just kidding. Or am I? So anyway, from there though, I'll move on into actual other life things that are not involving cross stitch, which was Halloween passed. It was so much fun. We had such a good time. This is the first year we took Malachi trick-or-treating. Not that he actually trick-or-treated, we just pushed him around in a stroller. But I'll pop some pictures on the screen. He looked so cute. He looked absolutely adorable. We got him kind of like an old school 50s, 60s style little devil costume. It was adorable. He looks so cute. He looks like a little cartoon character. And it was just adorable. And then my daughter was the corpse bride, and she absolutely loved her costume. It was so much fun. We went to an event for her school, which was super fun, like a little trunk or treat thing, but it was inside because it's so cold and rainy here. So it was dumping down rain that night. And that was really fun. And then yeah, Halloween was great. We had a good time. It was raining like a lot that day though, so we all got soaked. And by the time we finished up in our neighborhood, I had Daniel just drive us around the rest of the neighborhood to take Amira. But it was a good time. We had a great Halloween. We always do, and I can't wait for next year to hopefully kind of have the holidays better planned out, because obviously moving this time of year was pretty tricky with Halloween and now Thanksgiving coming right around the corner, and then Christmas. I've already started, you know, Christmas shopping. Last month is when we started, so we'll see. But it's been a fun time. I've been thinking a lot about the advent calendar, what I'm going to do for Amira this year. Malachi's just not old enough, not quite old enough to understand the advent calendar and the concept of like getting a new thing every day. So I'm going to see what I can think of for Amira. One year I did like a knitted bunny, and I knit some little accessories and stuff for it, but I don't know if she'd really be interested in something like that anymore. As she's gotten older, she'll be turning 8 in March, and then Malachi will be 2 in February. Can you believe it? I feel like I was just pregnant with him, guys. It's so crazy. Updates for him, he's doing really good. He is potty training already, like uses the big boy potty and everything. I can't believe it. He's 19 months old, and he's just crazy. He is our crazy child. He gets into everything. He's running around all day long. He's like nonstop, go, 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 go. He's a handful, but such a fun kid. And so he's been doing well. Amira's loving her new school. I know I've talked about that before, but she's still loving it. She really enjoys it. She brings up her old school every once in a while and just says she misses it, but she does love her new school, loves being in the neighborhood. So we're right by all these other kids that she goes to school with, which is so much fun. And yeah, she's just having a great time. And today I thought was picture day. Then I got an email this morning that it's actually on Friday. So woke her up really early to do her hair really nice, like curled it. I usually do her hair every day, but I actually like put heat to it by doing the curls, which is not something I typically do. So now I'm like, sorry about that. She doesn't like waking up. I bet she's gonna come home and be like, Mom, we did have pictures today. That's gonna be the first thing that comes out of her mouth. Guarantee it. But yeah, that she's been doing good, enjoying school, living life. They've got their conferences coming up soon. Thanksgiving break is soon. I'm hoping I still have like some good stitching time in the mornings and stuff. I wanted to host Thanksgiving, but I do not have a big enough dining room table yet. I haven't even started shopping for one. I kind of just want to get the craft room done and then move from there. The craft room is coming along, but not much more progress has been made. 3 of the bookshelves are built, and then the framing for the top and bottom is done. I think I talked about that last time. The painting of those 3 bookshelves is done as well. This weekend, hopefully Daniel can work on it, but we have a 1-year-old's birthday party to go to, so we'll see how much I actually get done. But yeah, it's just like every weekend something is going on, and we end up not really being able to get to building, but that's all right. It happens. Such is life as adults. But that is all I have to talk about. I did not plan for this video to be this long. Sorry, guys. I guess I just remembered everything I've kept forgetting over the past 5 weeks, apparently. So I will catch you guys next time. If you stuck around for this long, then in the description box below, put a book emoji, because I actually have some books behind me. This is my like bedroom display, I guess. I don't know. This is what I have right now in my bedroom. I don't know if these pieces are going to stay in here or if they're going to move to somewhere else, but yeah, I painted the room green and I thought, oh, these look nice together. So that's what I've got going on. But leave me some books so that I know you stuck around to the end. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I will catch you hopefully not too long from now. I like keeping them as short as I can, like I said, to keep editing down in my previous video, but didn't really happen this week. We'll see. Have a good one, guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye.